Hi guys, I'm just going to do a quick video on the Lady Dimitrescu Purearts statue. Never really make any videos, so it's not going to be tip-top quality, but I thought some people might be interested to see what it's like. It retailed for $1,400, I believe. I live in the UK, so that was translated to pounds, and it cost £1,200, and I think there was a small delivery charge on top of that. Luckily they have a warehouse in the UK, so I didn't have to import it or pay any tax or customs charges, which I wasn't aware of when I ordered it. I only found that out later on, so that was a bonus, because I then was worried about having to pay even more money on top. But yeah, fortunately they do have a warehouse in the UK, so it just was delivered from the warehouse in the UK. Anyway, back to the statue itself. It arrived yesterday. Obviously I've unboxed it and got it somewhat on display here. As I say, I'm not like a massive collector of large statues or anything, but I saw this and I loved the game and the character, so I just thought I have to have it. And it did look really good, obviously, in the promo photos. And I have to say, since getting it in person, she is very well detailed, and I have no regrets about purchasing it. Again, the lighting might not be the best, but this base here is probably my least favourite part of it. I think this fake wood effect using paint, whilst it looks okay, or maybe to some people they would say it looks good that they managed this effect based on the fact it isn't actually wood. I don't know, it just looks slightly off, given that the rest of the statue is in itself is so good. So yeah, that if I was to criticize it in any way, it probably would be the base. As you can see, like the detail and the paintwork on the base is nice, and you've got this like little addition here with the mask and the droplets of blood. And this part here on top where she actually stands, this is quite nice. I don't know if it's a separate material, but it does definitely give a strong sort of marble effect, and is again realistic based off the game. I think in one of the main halls this sort of image is on the floor, so it's nice that they went for that. But yeah, just I'm not sure about this, but it's fine. Again, no problem with it. It's just if I had to criticize it, that would be what I would say is the bit I don't like. The dress itself, obviously, it's actual material, and the effect of it being sort of weathered, as you can see, if I sort of go close up, almost like that it's moldy. Not that it looks dirty, because it doesn't look dirty, but it does look weathered, and it is almost this like mold effect, I guess. But that's the whole dress has this effect on it, where again it looks similar to how she does appear in game, with this sort of weathered dress that isn't totally clean. So that's really nice. The pose itself I think is really good, and this arm here, this is fixed, so when you put it together, that it sort of comes like this. You have to attach the sort of flowers onto her dress here, and again these are really nice. If I just get some more light on there, you can see that they're nicely detailed. And I suppose the main thing that I think was amazing is just the detail on her face and even her skin, like the textures on the skin, and sort of, you know, how, because she regenerates in the game if you try and shoot her, and like her skin has that effect that it's almost like repairing itself, or that it's like damaged. Hopefully the camera's picking it up well. And these pearls here, I was wondering if this necklace sort of moved. It doesn't really move. It almost feels quite sturdy and is like fixed to her neck, which is a good thing, because yeah, it's probably better that it's kind of sturdy rather than moving around. But hopefully those pearls stay attached, because they do provide some spare ones in the box. Now again, her face, it looks amazing. What I'll do is take the hat off just to sort of help with the lighting, because her eyes are probably one of the standout things for me. Is, again, I'm not sure on the material, but like, they're just so detailed, and it's hard to sort of gauge that, I suppose, on the camera. But in real life, like, they do look so sort of realistic. And again, just the paintwork, see on her forehead how she's got that sort of like scar appearing there. And I know that is there in game. Her expression is really nice. I think the face just looks really well done, and again, no complaints. You can see on her ear she's got this sort of pearl earring, and this hair is synthetic, so it's meant to like be like realistic. It's like actual material. And again, like the way that they've done it to give her sort of curls, they've like curled it. And again, you can see it goes all the way around the back. There's sort of the back of the dress and her figure from the back. She's obviously quite a curvaceous woman, so that's all sculpted in. And yeah, looks great, and I'm so pleased that I managed to pick her up. If I put her hat back on, again, like, it's quite nice because you can kind of angle or tilt the hat whatever way you want it. I think for it to be more realistic, it's kind of on this sort of angle where it's slightly to one side. But yeah, the hat is a very nice material. Just to give you an idea of, it's quite a flat sort of paintwork, but when you feel it, it feels textured, and it's got this added detail, again, similar to in the game. That's another sort of close-up of her face for you. And yeah, and obviously what she's famous for, her bust, that is all sculpted in. So you can move the dress slightly if you want. You can have it higher if that's your thing, or if it's your thing that you prefer it lower, then you can pull it down. If you're a bit of a deviant, you can slightly loosen the dress here, and then that enables you to sort of move it down as far as you like. But yeah, as everybody knows, she has a very large bust, so it's nice that that is properly sculpted in. Regarding this hand, it comes with this cigarette holder, which just simply sort of slides into the hand, and it gets held there, sort of balances off on her finger. You do have to move it around a little bit to get the right angle, there you go, for it to sort of sit steady. It sort of lines up there on her finger. It's nothing special, it's as detailed as it can be, I suppose. But yeah, looks fine. Regarding the pose that you can change, so it comes with this additional hand, which is the claw hand, and you need to fix all of the individual claws to it. This one is the only one I have an issue with on this thumb. It does come out quite easily, so as you can see, it's not actually attached. It's not that it doesn't sort of fit, but any sort of like knock or movement, it will sort of come loose. I don't know if that's just my one, or that everyone's is like that, but I guess I can just show you what the claw looks like sort of close up. Again, these are as detailed as they need to be. It's quite a flat sort of paint job, but they look good, they do the trick, and when they're on the hand, they look great. And again, it came with this holder, and if you've seen the unboxing on their official Purearts channel, you'll see that this is an addition where this hand can obviously be sort of posed in this holder, which is nice because it's it means that you can kind of have the full thing on show, which is kind of obviously how I've got it set up. And again, I'm not a huge fan of this sort of false wood effect. It looks better on this because it's sort of smaller, whereas on the, I think because of the size of this and because it's a false effect, that's why I'm not sort of a huge fan of it. But yeah, it looks good. It's nice that they included this, and the hand itself, it feels that it might be magnetic when I attached it to this, and I always like that because magnets are always nice and strong, aren't they? So, but I could be wrong. Maybe I was just being silly because I haven't confirmed if it is or not, but it felt like it sort of snapped in. So it's nice and sturdy anyway, is the point. And the sort of detail on the hand, they look really good. Look at all the creases there within the hand itself. Yeah, it's really well done, really well done. And I've never purchased anything from Purearts before, but this is my first purchase, and I'm really sort of expedited. They sort of surpassed my expectations. You know, I thought it's a lot of money to be spending on something, but when it arrived and I unboxed it, I like I said, I was just blown away. And she is 1/4 scale, I think that's correct. So she's quite tall. So that's the other thing to bear in mind, is she does sort of take up a lot of room in terms of height. This base isn't too bad in terms of the room it takes up. I mean, it is large. I'm not saying it's small, but it does. It's not sort of humongous. So, you know, as you can see, this is my desk, and that's sort of what it takes up. I've actually got my Leon here from my Resident Evil 2 Remake Special Edition, just to give you an idea of the scale, in case anybody has this figure, because this is quite small, I would say, especially obviously compared to this. So if I sort of zoom out, you can see how tall Lady Dimitrescu is compared to this Leon figure from the Resident Evil 2 Remake. You know, she is very intimidating in person for a statue, which is great because that is obviously the vibe that you want her to give you. So yeah, she definitely dominates the room, as it were, in terms of her size. And again, if I give you an idea of how big she actually is in comparison, you can see there, it's just yeah, she definitely has a large presence. So she is very tall, because I think her real life character is 9'6". In the video game, if you were to sort of take her out in real life, she would be 9'6". So yeah, as I say, this is a quarter scale of that. This is the certificate that it comes with, the COA. So this just sort of indicates that it's an official sort of licensed product, I suppose. It looks really nice. I've seen a few of the other ones that have come with some of the other Purearts figures, and this one looks one of the nicer ones, which again, because this one was quite expensive, it's nice that this feels premium. It's made out of metal. It's very sharp though, so be careful, because I did actually drop it and cut myself. So just be careful with it, because the corners are incredibly sharp. As I say, it's metal, so that's probably my fault. I should have been a bit more careful, but I didn't expect it to be so sharp. So yeah, the back of it is just like a mirror effect, which is nice. And obviously you've just seen the front, and it comes with this holder, so it's like a clear acrylic holder. And yeah, nice that it came with that to hold it, so you can obviously display it with the other parts. That is pretty much everything. Obviously you can switch out the hand pose if you want to, so in case anybody doesn't know, that doesn't just stay there. You can switch out the hands, so if you want the claw hand, you can have it. And I'm using my phone to record, so I wish I could show you more in terms of, on the bottom of the base, it has like sort of a very sort of video game looking cover in terms of a picture of her, and it says Resident Evil Village, and it confirms the number in which your statue is out of 666, just like the COA here does. As you can see, I've got 296 out of 666, so it just confirms that on the bottom here. And I think they're sturdy rubber sort of bottom parts on this. You can't see it, but they sort of raise this slightly off the table or the surface that it's on, so it makes it easier to move, although it is quite heavy. So whilst it makes it easier, it's still takes a bit of energy to move her. She's not light by any means. The box itself was really nice, really high quality. Again, I would show you, but I'm filming off my phone and I can't be bothered to edit or anything like that. I don't really make YouTube videos, but it's a really nice artistic colouring and really premium quality. The actual box itself, it come well packaged. They just did a really great job all round, so thumbs up to Purearts. And yeah, for anybody who was wondering or wanted to see what it looked like in person and a bit more of a close-up, here you go. Hope this wasn't a terrible video. As I say, I don't really make videos often, especially about statues, so I probably haven't gone into specifics like people would want, but it's just to give you an idea as to what it was like and my thoughts on it. So hope you enjoyed. And yeah, she's a looker, and she's definitely worth a purchase. So I think they still have some on the Purearts website, so if anyone was sort of second guessing purchasing this, I definitely recommend her 100%.